97 as we got Brad Seward following Ryan Veenstra.
Isn't that crazy?
That's great though. Kyle
Yeah.
graduated in 97.
Yeah.
That was a good group.
We were a good group.
So we've got to get your pick, New England or Seattle.
I thought about this last weekend, and I'm like, what am I going to tell Gary when he asks me about the Super Bowl? I have a friend that actually is a Seahawks season ticket holder.
Oh my goodness.
John Bryson, who used to play baseball at Clinton High School.
Okay.
Infield, middle infielder, class of 96. So I'm going with the Seahawks.
All right. Well, it's pretty.
It's a runaway, isn't it?
Predominant Seahawks here. That's 13-4 right now. For the most part, people don't want to see the Patriots win again.
Well, it's a different group of Patriots, but even when they were playing the Bears back in the Super Bowl in '86, maybe that's where it comes from. Is I'm just not a Patriots fan.
So, class of 97.
Yeah.
Went to Clinton Community College. A good move.
Yeah, it was a great move. I actually was going to go to a different school out of high school, decided against it, went to community college, changed my mind, and it was people like, it's funny enough, your previous guest, Ryan Veenstra. Back in middle school, he was the thing that said, hey, I really like Iowa State, and he talked about his parents going to Iowa State, and kind of piqued my interest in Iowa State a little bit, and then I was one of the few that was a Hawkeye and a Cyclone fan, except when the Cyclones were playing the Hawkeyes, I would cheer for the Hawkeyes. Well, that changed when I went to Iowa State.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny because Ryan talked about living above the Snell Zorning Funeral Home. I used to go to Cub Scouts in that apartment. I talked to Jim, his dad, all the time. When I was at the other radio station, getting grain prices and things like that. Yeah. It's so funny how our lives kind of intertwined. But he's got a great successful organization at Snell Zorning, and yes. I'd like to think that we have a pretty good group going on at the Clinton County Area Solid Waste Agency.
We certainly do. So, Iowa State Journalism Mass Communications,
and
which leads right into
science.
leads right into what you're doing right now.
Well, absolutely, and I obviously 11-year career at KCLN Radio in Clinton, and was able to meet a lot of good people through that job, and I networked with people like Dave Vickers and yourself a lot because we would be at a lot of the same things, and the groups here in town really do get along pretty well, and I like that. It's not like, I don't want to talk to you because you work somewhere else, and everybody's really good about getting along and being Clinton nice.
So, how'd you end up at the Clinton County Area Solid Waste Agency? I mean, it's obviously been a very good move for you.
Governmental affairs were something I focused on a lot when I was at my previous position, and there's a lot of governmental affairs that go on with the Clinton County Area Solid Waste Agency. I knew a little bit about the politics of the agency at the time, and I was just very lucky to walk into a good situation left by my predecessor, and we were able to build upon that and continue to grow our program.
Let's talk a little bit about, and there are some changes out there in the recycling program.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I want to talk about a lot is the appliance and white good recycling. Appliances such as refrigerators and freezers have become a little bit of an issue for us. We do have a way to recycle them, but we're getting people that aren't being truthful whether they're actually empty of food, which is not a great thing to run into when you're trying to recycle.
Not.
So we are we're requesting, and actually going to go beyond requesting here very, very soon, that the doors be off of the refrigerators and the freezers to prove that, hey, you don't have any residual food in there, because it just is a horrible surprise when you go to open a refrigerator to look at the Freon tag to find out, oh, there's a turkey casserole in here from 3 years ago. And I understand that a lot of people are cleaning out refrigerators and freezers from the clients that maybe left them in their apartment, and that's unfortunately one of the things that's happened too, is that people don't clean up after themselves when they leave. So it's one of those things that we want to make sure that our people are safe.
Yes.
They're not inhaling mold or
Right.
anything like that. That we're not surprising them unnecessarily with food in the refrigerator or the freezers. So please take the doors off, and if not, please make sure that you can show that, hey, we have no food in this. Open it up for them, show them, because we don't want to have that surprise.
That's not a good surprise. And I've heard you on City Watch visiting. Of course, Greg Obern's going to be
Greg
taking
Ober's the
over.
new city host,
Yeah,
City
he's
Watch
going to
host,
be.
yeah.
So I'm sure he'll have you on because there's always some information that you pass along is very beneficial on that program.
Yeah, we removed the Freon, so the Freon doesn't have to be removed from the refrigerators or the freezers. We also take water heaters, washing machines, dryers, dishwashers, dehumidifiers, air conditioners, things like that, microwaves, and it's a great program because you're keeping a lot of harmful things out of the environment. The Freon. It's funny because I must have had an affinity for this because one of the stories I remember from when I was a child in the Clinton school system is we found out that the ozone layer was being depleted because of all the Freon that was being let off into the air by people that were just cutting the lines. And now the studies have shown that the ozone layer is actually trying to replenish itself. So we won't all end up like Thanksgiving turkeys someday with the terrible sunburn and things like that. But it's not just a science thing. It's a health and human services thing as well.
Talk about the science aspect. Your further education. I mean, do you go to like seminars? Do you have like
Yes.
webinars and different things like that?
We are required. I'm a certified landfill operator, which in Iowa requires you to know the rules of the landfill chapter, which is actually they're moving some things around. It's currently chapter number 113 of the Iowa Administrative Code 467. And they're moving it to another chapter. They're cutting out a lot of words, some shalls and shall nots and things like that, and going with some stronger language. But every 2 years, you're required to get 10 contact hours, which could be at a seminar or a class that you go to regarding the programs, regarding the regulations, regarding the science of the regulations, and it's very interesting.
Now, is there one for every county, Brad?
There are currently, I believe, approximately 23 landfills in Iowa. The rest are either transfer stations or going through like a municipal cooperative. There's Des Moines Metro Park East landfill, and they serve 17 counties. It's in Mitchellville, and it is incredibly large. One of my employees, Aaron Mank, who runs Slops Bar and Grill, I told him I'd give him a plug.
No problem. They're good advertising.
They are. They're good people. He used to work at Metro Park East on their appliance demanufacturing program, so he's doing that. But they're in charge of trash from 17 counties in Iowa. Right now, we're helping out the folks in Jackson County. The Andrew Transfer Station suffered a fire last year, and they're rebuilding. And at last report, I'm understanding it's going to be late spring that they'll be back up.
So our landfill, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I know it's not going to be a Mount Trashmore, but it might be someday.
Absolutely. And Cedar Rapids had that. They have what they did. They repurposed their closed landfill to Mount Trashmore. They've got trails and a biking path and things like that. A scenic overlook. It is actually one of the best places in Cedar Rapids to overlook the city and get a view of it.
Yeah.
And so when we go there for our conferences, we're always going to the Mount Trashmore area, which, like I said, they have all kinds of trails and nature.
I hope they don't make you walk all the way up to the top. My goodness. Yes.
They don't.
Yes.
And actually, we're not going to go that much higher with this current cell. We're probably building this year.
Okay,
So
talk
we'll
about
be
that.
building. Well, when we build, we have to put a plastic liner and drainage pipe in the bottom of the cell with a compacted clay layer. And what that does is protects the ground from getting any water getting into the groundwater. And that also drains out what they call leachate, which is the wastewater from the landfill. And that gets treated at the water treatment plant. And a lot of people don't know that the water treatment plant water that comes out of it at the wastewater reclamation facility is actually cleaner than drinking water. I wouldn't drink it on a dare, but it is actually scientifically cleaner than than water that comes out of the faucet.
So where's this new cell going to be at?
It's going to be either, we haven't gotten to the point where it's going to be west or east side of the current fill area, but it's going to be in the same
How much
facility.
property do you have
We have
out there?
350 acres.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Right now, we are currently in a cell layout that'll give us 75 years beyond where we're at right now. And
Wow.
there's also another. We're looking at expanding that cell capacity possibly another 90 years.
So you must have a lot of property north of Elvira Road.
west.
Oh, north
and
and west. Okay.
Yeah, we go to the civil defense siren on Elvira Road.
Oh my goodness. I didn't realize you had that much property. We'll check the weather right after this. Porter's Convenience Store on Clinton's Lincoln Way, where they feature top quality Phillips 66 Pro Clean gasoline. Get more for your money with Phillips 66 fuels. Start your day with their signature coffee and a breakfast item. Porter's is featuring their soup of the day to go along with their famous Porter Burger. For all your snack, beverage, and fishing bait, it is Porter's Convenience Store, 1512 Lincoln Way, Clinton. See them for Phillips 66 Pro Clean Gasoline and K1 Kerosene.
It's time now on KROS for the Storm Track 8 weather forecast, brought to you by Electronics.
Happy Friday. We are still going to be cold today with highs only in the teens, but we will be quiet. There is going to be building clouds with a little bit of a breeze with gusts as high as 25 miles per hour as we head into the afternoon. Still in store for a cold night, but we'll start to see warming temperatures into the weekend. Highs go to the 20s for Saturday. I'm Storm Track 8 meteorologist Morgan Strackpine.
Currently, we have fair skies and a temperature of 17 degrees. Winds are out of the north at 15 miles per hour. This weather report on KROS has been brought to you by Electronics.
Electronics Incorporated is the area's largest communications and alarm systems company. Electronics offers best in class life safety, security, audiovisual, two-way radios, and communications from top brands. Whether it's a one-man operation, a small business, or a large franchise, their professional team has decades of experience that bring you the best possible service. Electronics Incorporated at 522 North 2nd Street, Clinton.
Brad Seward, besides being a part of the Clinton County Area Solid Waste Agency, is long affiliated with Clinton baseball. Has it always been the Lumber Kings, or did you get in on any of the other names?
I was 2 years into the Lumber King name. It's amazing to me that the Lumber Kings have been around as long as they have now.
Yeah. Did it go from the Giants to the Lumber Kings?
Correct. 1994 was the first year of the Lumber Kings after the Giants. That was actually Jack Moll's last year in Clinton.
Okay.
He had managed 93 and 94 along with 91 in previous years. Of course, 91 being the most famous year in town.
Yes.
Still trying to get that elusive monkey off our back and win a league title for the first time since 1991, but it's coming.
They came close toward the end of their Midwest League span.
3 times.
Yeah.
2010, they went to Game 5 in Eastlake, Ohio. In 2016, 4-game loss in Great Lakes, and then South Bend swept us in 2019, and then.
And you would go on the road to watch these games.
You know what? I want to see history. I didn't get to go to Madison. Ryan and I were just talking about you broadcasting the game in Madison in 1991, and I was talking about the fact there was a thunderstorm that night. And I was listening to the game between the crackles on the AM radio.
You'll get that with AM radio.
Absolutely.
Especially in a thunderstorm.
Absolutely.
So you were doing some research, and we were the Clinton bridesmaids?
Bridegrooms in
Bridegrooms.
1895.
That makes more sense than bridesmaids.
When they played at Ringwood Park, which is an area near 13th Avenue North. They played there until Riverview Stadium, now Nelson Corp Field, was built in 1937. We were kind of talking about some of the most successful seasons, and actually the very first season in Riverview Stadium, the Clinton Owls had a win percentage of almost 680. 68%. They almost won 68% of their games that year.
You know, it is such a long history of baseball. And, you know, it's not professional baseball now, but it's still very good baseball.
Oh, it's tremendous.
Max Holy, Clinton kid, he's in the Houston Astros organization. He's hoping to get to Double-A this year.
I think he's got a good shot. I got a chance to watch him a little bit in Fayetteville last year, just from games that were on the Marquee Network when they were playing Myrtle Beach. And I was like, hey, that's Max Holy.
Yeah.
And we've got a local man managing the team now. Trevor Burkhart from Davenport is going to be the skipper of the club this year. He was a fire plug as a player. Davenport West kid. Went to Louisiana State University Shreveport, and they were the team that just went undefeated, 52-0 last year's national champs.
That is amazing. I had Nate Vanderbleek in on one of our River City Sports Review, and he was talking about that because, he takes over from a man who really started things for us as far as the Prospect League as a manager.
Absolutely. Jack Dom going to the Cape Cod League. He's going to be a fine addition out there. Wonderful person and a very good recruiter of young men to play college baseball. And he's still at Mount Mercy, but he'll be spending his summer out in the Cape. We've got a lot of good players, I believe, coming back. Just talking with Nate, I'm not allowed to talk about it yet because they're still. But it sounds like we've got some good players coming back, and that's the nice thing about the Prospect League. In minor league baseball, you get them for one, maybe part of the second year, and if they weren't doing well, they'd either be released or they would go the opposite direction and go up the chain. With the college situation, you can get them for 3 or 4 years, and you get to know guys like Max Holy. If you weren't from Clinton, you could meet Max Holy and really follow his career. And Trevor's one of those guys too. He was around. Trevor Burkhart was around for a number of years.
All right. Hey, you picked out a song for us. We got to get it in because it's 5.5 minutes, Brad. So we got to get this song in. What do we got?
Subdivisions by Rush. Passed away in 2022, Christmas Eve. Missed the heck out of him.
Yeah.
But he was very excited. We got to go Father's Day weekend. I want to say it would have been late teens.
Okay, very good. So you, of course, with the Clinton County Area Solid Waste Agency, lithium batteries, they can be a problem?
Oh, yeah. They can continue to be a problem. We have had some small fires because of lithium batteries. They break, they get wet, and they combust. The material does not react well with water, and so if there's moisture in the garbage, so the best answer is if you've got a rechargeable battery, if you don't know if it's lithium, bring it to us. We'll help you determine what we can do with it. The state of Iowa is actually working on a full-blown program that may be coming into effect before 2030 for which sounds like a long ways out, but it's only 4 years out.
Yeah.
For all batteries. Currently, we recycle car batteries like the lead acid batteries. We recycle lithium batteries and rechargeable batteries, including the little button batteries.
What are your hours out there, right, Bob?
7:30 to 4:30 Monday through Friday, and 7:30 to noon on Saturday.
And I would imagine do you have a social media presence at all?
We have a little bit of a Facebook post.
Okay.
It's more informational Facebook versus everyday Facebook. I'm kind of in charge of that, so I kind of just get the announcements out as possible. Right. We do occasionally will share things from our neighbors in Scott County, much like this for the people on the webcam. The wish cycling and the recycling and things like that we try to avoid the wish cycling, which of course is just wishing you can recycle something and actually trying to recycle like garden hoses. We can't recycle garden hoses. Styrofoam, same thing.
Yeah, very good. So do you get an opportunity to go out to schools or anything like that?
Yes, we do. We do talk to some schools. I know we had tours from St. Joe's and DeWitt last fall. Normally we have tours from Comanche. I have been to some of the Clinton schools to talk to students as well.
Okay, very good. Hey, appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Gary.
Grow Clinton is proud to name AdCraft Printwear USA as the recipient of the 2025 Value Spotlight Industry of the Year Award, honoring a local business that exemplifies growth and innovation, community commitment, and economic impact. AdCraft Printwear USA's roots go back to 1974, when Terry and Barb Sullivan launched their custom apparel business right here in Clinton, Iowa. What began as a modest family-run shop serving